Psychology of people who don't watch sports, the psychology of people who do not watch sports, is characterized by a distinct approach to social identity, reward processing, and internal validation. Research suggests that for many non-fans, the absence of interest is not a lack of passion, but rather a different neurological and psychological wiring that prioritizes personal meaning over collective spectacle. Core psychological traits individuals who are disinterested in watching sports often share. Several common psychological characteristics: low tribal instincts. Non-fans typically have a lower need for group-based identity, while sports fans often derive self-esteem from their team's success, known as basking in reflected glory. Non-fans tend to have a self-concept that is independent of external group outcomes. Strong internal validation. Their sense of self-worth is often derived from personal value, skills, or internal goals rather than team wins or losses. This leads to a more consistent self-concept that does not fluctuate based on uncontrollable external events. Reduced us versus the mentality. Studies from 2022 and 2026 found that people with less interest in sports are less likely to fall into polarized thinking or automatic dislike of opposing groups in other areas of life, such as work or politics. Sensitivity to stimulation. Many non-fans are more easily overstimulated by the high-energy, loud, and fast-paced nature of sports broadcasts. They often prefer quiet, introverted hobbies that allow for deep focus and mindfulness. Neurological and behavioral differences. Neuroscience and behavioral studies highlight differences in how the brains of non-fans process rewards. Different dopamine triggers. The intermittent reinforcement unpredictability of sports provides small dopamine hits to fans. In contrast, non-fans may find dopamine in mastery, curiosity, or intellectual challenges rather than vicarious competition. Cognitive range. Space not occupied by sports is often filled with diverse intellectual explorations like art, history, or systems thinking, indicating a preference for depth and complexity over the artificial drama of competitive sports. Preference for direct engagement. Non-fans often prefer reciprocal emotional investments in personal relationships or creative projects rather than parasocial one-sided relationships with professional athletes or teams. Taxonomy of non-fans. Recent research categorized non-fans into distinct groups based on their attitude. Haters. Individuals who actively reject sports culture, often viewing it as a holdover from primitive tribalism or resenting its perceived lack of sportsmanship. And overpaid participants. Dabblers. People who may consume sports occasionally due to social pressure or ubiquity, but do not identify as fan. Cynics. Those who find the narratives of sports meaningless or see them as commercial engines for selling sugar water and merchandise. Time crunch. Individuals who may have liked sports in the past but now prioritize finite time for family, work, or other hobbies.